What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We are back with another video. Today we're watching CallMeARJ. Ultra Vegito is Demon Slayer second victim. Alright. Yeah, so better get into it, man. I'm sorry I've been watching, man. I just I've been busy. Nah, it's been I look at this like reacting to videos, my fault. But if I'm a little off right now, my parlay just got sold by one leg. Austin Reeves, fuck you. You would never. Austin Reeves. They got blown out by the Suns with no Devin Booker. I needed 21 points. He had 16. I would have had a little $280 in my pocket right now, bro. Oh my god. But we will get into this video, man. We're about to really react, man. So, yeah, go.
So our story continues with the stunning sight of two Seraphim warriors, now on the battlefield, standing side by side to each other. Seraphim Vegito and a newly powered up third of the 5 strongest, Seraphim Yamoshi, gained by absorbing half the power of the God Killer. As Yamoshi, turning his eye to the younger Saiyan, would then begin, I commend you for actually sticking to your word, kid. Now just sit back and watch how a true Saiyan makes use of power like this. Maybe you'll learn something for once, instead of being a know-it-all. As the humoring Demon Slayer Vegito, looking back, would just reply, confident, I like it. No, be my guest, Yamoshi. I'm intrigued.
My mic wasn't even shut up.
Will learn
I don't know if that heard me or not.
Something I could make use of against Lucifer. But just be warned, this demon resembles someone from my past. Someone I wouldn't take so lightly. Angel forms on mortals? But still standing puzzled, the surprise of seeing both Vegito and Yamoshi with their Saiyan divine energy would have not worn off just yet, as the cell-like figure would then say, the only angels who have ever made an appearance down here was Lucifer's brother, died. I remember that day. It was before I evolved into this form. But that feeling of his energy, it's the same as I'm feeling from these two. Better approach with... But just as the Demon Emperor of Sector 9 would try to rationalize the situation and think of his next move, Yamoshi, without any hesitation, would blast off with unmatched speed in a direct beeline towards the demon. The Emperor left with nothing short of pure shock on his face until... With conviction to pay the demon back, Yamoshi would instantaneously appear, striking the Emperor right across the face. His cheek concaved inwards like a sculpture, as his moans and groans are almost stunted by his surprise at the ridiculous change in power of Yamoshi. As still folding his arms while his body would begin moving off balance, he would just mutter, "This weakling struck me."
Damn.
Weakling. Now that's rich, coming from you, Lucifer.
I I was flipping the nickel, guys. Sorry.
As now brimming with confidence and typical Saiyan cockiness, Yamoshi smirking, looking down with his glowing seraphim eyes, would continue. How does it feel, demon, to be struck when you least expect it? Not great, is it? At least, I had enough honor to not aim for a vital point. Be happy, but also be warned that I'm just getting started with my revenge. Lucif wannabe! You! I recognize you now! Isa told me of you. As suddenly losing his cool and beginning to grit his teeth wildly, would seem Yamoshi's legend would proceed himself as Yamoshi! The cowardly lower god, even Sector 10's Emperor bullied! How dare you talk to me like that? As now filled with rage and yelling, as his power would increase, it would seem the demon would take offense to even being challenged in the slightest by a god from the mortal realm. But the third of the 5 strongest would hardly care, and in his new god-killer powered state would instantly then swing his leg and slam the Emperor away, shutting him up immediately.
Oh shit.
Leaving the demon to skid across the ground for miles, like a pebble skipped across a lake, before eventually coming to a stop on his front side, his body mangled, as if he was just hit by a truck. You! But not laying out for the count for too long, the demon would be quick to flip onto his back, staring at Yamoshi, who would stand nearby now, looking down at his prey. Eventually jumping straight onto his feet, as Yamoshi would watch patiently before yelling, I don't know what that other flesh pile did to you, but you have some nerve. I heard you got beat down so badly by Isa that you never returned again to the demon realm. An embarrassment of a so-called god. That Isa has a big mouth, doesn't he? As Yamoshi, grinning through the pain of such comments and traumatic history, would save face and reply, well, looks like you've learned a valuable lesson on not believing everything you hear. Clearly, that's not the case if I'm wiping the floor with you, demon.
Oh shit.
The floor with who, silly god?
Come on, Yamoshi. Put belt to ass.
From the sworn enemy of the demons would be the last straw. As rushing straight for the legendary
That nigga
god,
Austin Reeves really showed my
the
parlay,
demon
bro.
emperor's entire body would bulge
I'm
with
upset.
strength as he yells. Mindless creatures, the lot of you. Ducking his head down though, Yamoshi would begin making his own move. With a devious smirk, he would have no fear before. Who told you to move? As moving forward instantly, the third would suddenly appear right beside the moving forward demon, grabbing his face harshly mid-flight before... Get back down, worm! as with violent ferocity, as if taking out all his anger and embarrassment from his defeat to Aiza on this new demon, Seraphim Yamoshi would then immediately smash the Emperor straight onto
He
the
doing this too
hard
easy.
ground below
Might be something up
by
his
the
sleeve.
back of his skull, instantly creating a smokescreen of rubble and debris as the demon's head is dug further and further into the demon realm soil. And while this violent villain beatdown would occur, as the smoke would rise into the air,
Check this something.
Vegito's backside would be seen.
Okay.
Watching on curiously, his reaction unclear until... Yamoshi! All over his face, we would finally see that the God Killer being surprised would be an understatement. As muttering under his breath, he would say, "Old man, impressive. That may not be all my strength you're using, but you're using the Seraphim form at least, like you've been practicing for years. What gives? What gives is that you, just like all these demons, forgot who the hell I am!"
Talk to your shit, nigga.
As Yamoshi, somehow hearing the God Killer from all the way out, would immediately turn his head
Socks on,
to
sorry.
berate the younger Saiyan. But he wouldn't have much time to say anything else before, from below, two beams of energy would explode outwards, leading to the Seraphim Saiyan immediately jumping straight up to avoid. Laughing as he would move away, thinking, "Good to see. You won't go down quite so easily, demon." Eventually landing a good distance away, as no more movement nor energy would be seen from the pseudo-grave of the Emperor. Damn you! As finally, as we would see the demon emerge, he would be utterly out of breath. His hand outstretched, the source of the earlier blast of ki. And before long, the Emperor would make his way back onto his feet yet again, mumbling, "I've played with you flesh piles long enough. I should have aimed for your head when I still had
Alright,
the
then,
chance. My mistake. And Emperor Sega will not make it twice!" As suddenly, powering up two concentrated balls of demonic energy, with his teeth bared with rage, now named, Sega would prepare his comeback. But now laughing ominously, much like Vegito would, the overconfident Yamoshi would just respond, "If you want my head, don't you think you're a little far? Here, let me help you." As Yamoshi would then immediately begin levitating into the air towards the armed Sega before... What? With the same unbelievable speed as before, Yamoshi would launch himself with insane movement, lurching from side to side, leaving after images that would confuse the eyesight of Sega, within nanoseconds appearing right before the horrified face of the Emperor. "Too slow, demon scum!" Until ultimately, slamming his two palms straight onto the chest of Sega before he could even use his energy attacks. The Demon Emperor left to be launched by force backwards yet again, his body not even able to react, utterly outclassed once more by the legendary Seraphim Saiyan.
Seraphim.
How are you doing this?
It's built different, big bro.
As subsequently, in complete disbelief, as his body would involuntarily fly backwards now, letting go of his energy balls like a failed juggler, Emperor Sega would yell out before inevitably being smashed through multiple mountain heads and eventually finding solace within the dark confines of a makeshift cave. And for a while, as the dust would dissipate out of the blackened mouth of the cove, no noise would be heard. Only until once we would look within and see the beaten and bleeding face of Sega in agony, with the harshest of groans being noticed. And for good reason, as laying flat on the ground, his body would lay, seemingly defeated both physically and mentally, as internally, the once great Demon Emperor of Sector 9 would then think, truly, who would have thought things would end up like this? That flesh piles could be this powerful, this fun. Never before has even a Demon Emperor challenged me like this to take my place.
Well,
only now, the time has finally come to use the true abilities of this new, perfect form of mine. As instantly opening his eyes following this, they would appear completely different. No longer blank, but pitch black in color, with a glowing violet hue. Whatever this Demon Emperor just activated, it would be about to turn the tides.
we'll turn him down.
But on the outside, unbeknownst to the third, continuing his cocksure attitude and pursuit of his victim, he would just descend outside of the cave. And with his arms folded, and of course smirking, he would call out, Sega! Come out already. Hiding in there won't save you from me. I thought I was supposed to be the embarrassment of a god. Don't tell me you would like to take the title of embarrassment of an emperor. I promise, my revenge is almost finished. But Vegito, also close by, watching on as there would be no sign of response from the demon, would then address Yamoshi with his hands on his hips, saying, I'm all for confidence, but you're getting a little too cocky now, Yamoshi. The last time we fought, you let me off the hook plenty of times in pursuit of showing how powerful your true Super Saiyan God form was. I feel like you're making the same mistake here. If it's finished, finish him now! Who do you think you're giving advice here to, child? You think I'm as immature as you? I'll end this demon in due time. But as if the entire atmosphere and mood dropped in that very instant, an unseen force would be quick to be detected, shattering Yamoshi's confidence instantly, as his once smug countenance would find itself shifting to a visage of confusion and fear. As out of nowhere, as if having just materialized from thin air, due to just how physics-bending Sega's speed would be, now mid-air, with his harshly serious face staring straight on, deadlocked with Yamoshi's, a trail of luminous pink energy would flow from his cold eyes, as the Seraphim Saiyan, paralyzed in fear, would almost just appear to move in slow motion. And it wouldn't be long before Sega's sudden appearance right in front of Yamoshi would begin to make sense, as he would immediately follow through and slam his skull, headbutting the Seraphim with conviction. Now finally giving Yamoshi a taste of his own medicine, as he would be brashly forced back. While the God Killer, noticing the change in Sega, would just comment, "That demon! He's turned it up a gear! Weren't his eyes non-existent before? Yamoshi! Hate to say I told you so, but... shut up, Vegito!" But even as the legendary Saiyan of past would continue to move backwards, he would have time to clap back at the God Killer. Before beginning to bare his teeth, he would tense every fiber of his body until... enough! Instantly, he would find a way to stop himself and the velocity to a standstill, upside down, with his face still partially scrunched up from the pain of the earlier headbutt. And so too, as that would last, Yamoshi's anger would linger, as he would comment briefly, "That was another sneaky one, demon! Can you not, just even once, fight me with honor? What?" But in a tale of constant action, once again, Yamoshi would find himself being cut off, as this time his entire face and body would become lit up by a mysterious, all-encompassing light. Demon! As he would then find himself not face first with the Emperor, but instead a gigantic and fast-approaching energy ball.
More energy ball.
As the Seraphim Saiyan, with no time to dodge and in a compromised position, would quickly do all that he could, crossing his arms and tensing his body as he would prepare to defend against immediate impact, ultimately resulting in a massive inferno,
Damn, it's that cold
looming
outside?
across the sky and among the rocky terrain, garnering the attention and worry of all those that currently inhabited Sector 9. And from within, Yamoshi's earlier defense would mean little, as his arms and legs are blown wide open and his entire body is caught within the destruction of the explosion. Fool! And Vegito, now less in a goading mood, but starting to feel concerned, would cover himself from the high winds and think, "The old man is starting to reach his limit, I fear. Guess my holiday was shorter than expected. Time to step in." As in the final aftermath, once all the dust would settle, all that would be left in place of Seiga's attack would be a giant crater, digging several meters into the ground with no sign of Yamoshi anywhere. My. Thank you for confirming the power of this new demon form of mine. As standing, with his palms still smoking, and all too happy with himself smile, Seiga would continue. You know, when I first mutated into this green thing, I didn't know what to make of its looks. But now that I have finally had a chance to truly test its powers, I will rule the day I mutate once again. Yamoshi! Time to tag out! You've had more than enough of a beating for one day. All the while Vegito, now growing impatient, would just yell out to the crater, attempting to contact Yamoshi, despite his presence not even being clear. Nonsense! I'm just getting started! But not wanting to give up or prove the God Killer right in any way, Yamoshi would finally make a sound, struggling to rise to his feet as the damage from the explosion would be clear all over his face and armor. As Yamoshi, following through with what he had just said, would prove it by powering up intensely in the next moment, his entire body surrounded by a fluxing cyan aura, with a brightly lit, white pure lightning that would dance all over his body, as he would call out with his fists clenched, "Glad you finally got the backbone to fight for real, demon! Now come here and see what I can really do!" Somehow, I don't think whatever it is you have left to show will be worth seeing. As a grinning in response, Seiga would completely dismiss the Seraphim of any threat. But regardless of this, he would oblige in the end, moving calmly towards the Saiyan who had now arisen out of the crater, his leg slowly descending right before the still roaring aura of Yamoshi. But not backing down himself, Yamoshi would smirk right in the Emperor's face and comment, "Glad to finally see you at your best, demon." While Seiga would just backhandedly reply, "A pleasure. I just wish I could say the same to you."
Sorry, guys.
What? You can't see properly? As not even a second later, the battle-ready Yamoshi would instantly grab onto Seiga's head with both hands in return and... Here! Have a better look! As getting his get back, Yamoshi would then headbutt the demon back violently, pulling Seiga's skull forward as he does so for extra impact. Before immediately then transitioning the grip to toss the Emperor straight into the sky above. You dirty beast! But unlike with Yamoshi, how far Seiga would be slung would be short-lived in comparison, before he would regain himself, stopping instantly until... No more tricks! Fight me head on!
Oh, shit.
Eager to stop all the surprises, the Demon Emperor would now fly straight at Yamoshi, covered in aura and in full
I'm
view.
covered in aura.
About time. To which, of course, the third would respond in kind, with a beaming grin until... he too would make his move upwards. And just like that, like two asteroids on a collision course with one another, Emperor Sega of Sector 9 and Yamoshi, the third of the 5 strongest, would fly straight at each other for imminent impact. Instantly equalizing each other out, with
Pause.
both immediately landing a punch on each other's faces. Neither side pushed back as they remain frozen still, in deadlock, in the moment. But only for the moment, as eventually residual energy would catch up to them and both warriors would be shot back like bullets in what seemed like a delayed impact. Both left with fury in their expressions as they regain themselves in the air, with Sega grumbling, You shouldn't be keeping up like this! While the third would clap back, I could say the same for you, demon! Flesh pile! Demon scum! Instantly transitioning to a full-on joust as the two warriors blast forward once more at each other to continue their skirmish. And a skirmish it would be, as finally the two would fight at near equal levels, each landing debilitating blows on one another. And this battle through the skies would go on for a while, all under the close watch of the God Killer. But once we would peer at Vegito, his sharp seraphim eyes would already be able to detect how one-sided the battle truly was, as he would comment, Those two look like they're having fun. But just as I thought, Yamoshi may be able to pull off a light show with my power, but its strain on his body is already taking effect.
Oh shit.
His stamina just isn't like mine, while that Sega guy seems almost like an android. As when we would switch back to the third, he would just be seen moving back, taking a break
Almost
from
like an
trading
android.
blows. Breathing
Don't be
heavily,
moaning in my ear.
one eye open, and countless battle scars, as he would mutter, Something's not right here. Either he's getting stronger, or I'm getting weaker and weaker. This battle cannot be going like this.
But it is.
I know, even half of Vegito's power has far more to give. I've seen it for myself. Tired, my dear lower god? But noticing the Seraphim's discomfort and exhaustion, a still almost in perfect shape Sega would just arrive in front, his arms folded and smiling away, letting out, You know, I'm in a good mood. If you want to tag out with the other weakling, go ahead. I won't stop you. Clearly, we know who's stronger now. Yamoshi! You heard him. you're done! Leaving Vegito, who overhears what the Demon Emperor had to say,
We know who's
to then
stronger
call out
now.
orders to his counterpart. Continuing, I told you, handling power like this isn't something you can just jump into. You did well for what you could. Now step back and let me show you how it's done. Will you be quiet and let me concentrate for a second? But now starting to lose himself to his frustration, Yamoshi would yell back in annoyance, believing completely in himself still. Turning himself back to face Sega as he would continue, You underestimate me too much, kid! You both do. I've been
All right,
holding
you must
back,
get your ass whooped then.
but I guess it's time. I take this energy of yours to the next level. The next level of a Seraphim.
Seraphim. They put a lot of M in that.
Pushing himself to the utmost limit, teeth and gums bared and all, the Seraphim Saiyan would attempt to go even further beyond. His whole body
this
unleashing
to go
aura from
further
every pore
beyond.
that blasts all around him like a jet stream. And wider would his mouth open, spit unleashing, as in his determination to prove his strength, he would almost go primal. His eyes now even going blank as he loses himself completely to achieve his sole goal. And before long, it would seem stage 2 of the Seraphim would actually begin to be reached all at once. As not only would the beginning of a cyan triangle formulate on his forehead, but on his back, feathers of what should become an angel wing would start to sprout too. Maybe, just maybe, Yamoshi was right all along.
Okay, Yamoshi.
And as the power of Yamoshi would continue to increase wildly, creating a storm of aura, lightning, and more, even Emperor Sega would begin to become intrigued with the Saiyan once more. As looking on cautiously, the demon would comment, So, he too had something left to show. His energy, it's becoming even closer to what I remember of Dai. That symbol on his forehead, it's all making sense now. Oh God. But in stark contrast, as if Vegito was seeing a completely different scene to the rest of us, the God Killer would have a totally different response, just ominously muttering, You damn fool! Now, you have really doomed yourself. I'll show you all! Though on Yamoshi's side, he would march on, screaming like a beast, very much unlike an angel we should add, as he would unleash every little bit of Vegito's energy by force.
Damn.
His hair spiking wildly, as the symbol on his forehead would just continue to slowly reach his completed triangle state. But unfortunately, as if Vegito was Nostradamus himself, only moments later, a change would overcome Yamoshi, as his hair would return to base, his symbols gone, and his aura and lightning suddenly all around him beginning to become unstable, dissipating slowly until... In a flash, all energy would leave Yamoshi, as not only would Yamoshi be left in base, but he would look far unhealthier than at any point in the battle, as if every bit of his own energy had vanished too. His eyes faded as he would just mutter, What happened?
You dumbass, yo dumbass.
And with what seems like little to no energy left, Yamoshi's heavy body would gradually descend to the ground, before he would eventually land with a hard thud on one knee, now seen with his head bowed, supporting himself with just a singular arm. My body, I can barely move.
That's crazy.
Until finally, the true consequences of pushing Yamoshi's body to limits it simply was not made for would be revealed. As with a ghoulishly unwell face, with his vision blurred, Yamoshi would just mutter incoherently. Huh? But right in front of him, as if he were bowing down, the leg of Emperor Seiga would arrive. And looking down with his arms folded, mildly disappointed, Seiga would say, Seems in the end, you were all talk after all. Flesh piles, masquerading as angels. Who knows what goes on in that clown mortal realm? But cheap imitation like this won't run down here.
Damn, Yamoshi.
And with no remorse, with his harsh words spouted, Seiga would follow this up by kicking Yamoshi straight in the face, even while he was down, raising both his arms and knee off the ground by brutal force. As Seiga, for good measure, would then follow through, pushing Yamoshi off far, sending the now base Saiyan's near lifeless body to skip across the ground twice before crash landing onto a rocky surface, falling face first on the ground motionless.
Dumbass nigga.
No! I can do more than this!
Can you?
Eventually, though, the third would at least try to raise his torso up, his ego not allowing him to fail so badly. But unfortunately, the Emperor would have other ideas, as immediately from behind, the demon would arrive to brutally knee
Damn,
the
you
back
mouse.
of his skull. Leaving the disorientated and in agony Yamoshi to just cough out blood as he would lay back down on the ground. But yet again, Seiga would just begin walking forwards. What
Damn, Vegito,
now?
help that nigga out.
As he would then roughly grab the third by his hair and pull him up. Eventually holding him tightly in the air like a trophy, as Seiga would say coldly, You see, Vegito, this is the fate that comes to those who think they can enter the demon realm and leave in one piece. Be pleased that your end comes by my hand, and not by the monsters of the other sectors. Lucif knows they would not be as merciful as I.
Vegito, you let that happen?
But despite this claim of being merciful, the Emperor would only then follow this up by blasting Yamoshi several
He got
times
his back
through
blown
his
out.
body,
Damn, you can't
repeating the very first moments of his battle with the third, bringing things full circle. Leaving the truly near-death now Yamoshi to just spurt out blood in all directions before being tossed like a paper bag straight into yet another mountain. This time though, not smashing through, but almost imprinted into the surface in a crucified position, all while revealing the now dual open wounds in his chest, which failed to heal. And as usual, Sega would not be far behind, arriving in front before walking over with a smile and saying to the Saiyan's near-deathly face, "Poor flesh pile, to think you lived a life being proclaimed a god, and only now you find out just how worthless you really are. I see you're closing your eyes now. You must think this is some kind of nightmare, huh? Wake up!" As instantly, in a sign of total disrespect, the Demon Emperor
He
proceed
is
to slap the Saiyan like an unruly child.
Alright, Vegito.
But raising his arm up, ready to create a makeshift spear with it, it would look like Sega would finally be done with his little game, as he would comment, "I think I've had just about enough. Congratulations on not taking any of my offers to flee. You may die proudly now, as a flesh pile. Goodbye, Yamoshi, third of the 5 strong..." But just as he would ready himself, a look of mild surprise would overcome him. Something had changed. Yamoshi may have been making a comeback, but feeling a pain in his chest, he would briefly just look down and see... Unbelievably,
There we go.
through his chest would be a bloody mess, as an entire hand would be thrusted through, and in its palm, a strange beating object. And with the shock of the attack still not allowing him to register any pain yet, with a bemused face, he would just mutter, Is that my heart?
Yep.
My energy, it's fading. Who? You?
Oh shit.
Sorry,
He put it in ya.
As when the Demon Emperor would look
thumbnail.
around, right behind would be the aptly named Demon Slayer Vegito. As a
Thumbnail.
devilish smirk would appear on his face as he would say, "Unfortunately
me looking at the
for
screen like
you,
this.
Sega, God killing is my job. Thank you for the crown. I'll enjoy being the new Emperor of Sector 9. As just like that, with one violent grip,
Damn.
Vegito would pop Emperor Sega's heart like a mere balloon. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far,
That was gruesome right there, bro. God damn. You ain't gotta do that to that boy. But shout out to my boy, CallMeARJ, and this is a great video. Great chapter. Great chapter. Oh, cool. Look like, okay, cool. He finally putting these bitches back under 50 minutes, because I swear. Okay. For the next few ones. Oh, I see one under 40 minutes. Okay, yeah, we gonna get active again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see. Oh yeah. Finally. All right, my fault. I was like, damn. I be wanting to watch them, but damn, these 50 minutes be killing me sometimes. Like, god damn, 50 minutes. But anyway. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. He's short time on the rest of these. Okay. Cool. Finally. Cool. Cool. We can do this. Oh, we gonna get through these. Couple of 45 minutes, but that's not too bad. Hold on. Damn, I'm not that far from the end. Oh shit. Like 226. Some of these are fucking UVs. Okay. I'm like 100 away. Like 100 away from the end right now. I mean, he's still making new ones, obviously. Okay. All right. Sorry, I got distracted. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe down below. Make y'all check out the last one down below. Let me know how y'all feel about this one down below, and I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.